the next day you called me up. You told me I'm your little buttercup. You came over and you fell into my arms. Well, I know what I feel. Please tell me your love is real. You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat, weird chills running down my neck. I thought went crazy from just the thought of you. A long blonde hair and your beautiful smile. Your sense of humor makes it all worthwhile. Don't make me wait, it's not a funny game. You know just what I feel. Please tell me your love is real. You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover, a hopeless lover, hopeless lover. You make me smile when I think of you. If I
Hey guys, welcome to the stream, The Talk. How is everybody doing this evening? How is everybody enjoying their week? Now, it's been a couple of weeks before, since we've done one of these, mainly because, other things were going on and I couldn't be bothered. That's not true. Other things were going on, had things we had to get done, early starts at work, all that kind of thing. So we've got Bubba and we've got Catherine in the chat with us tonight. How is
Yes.
everybody getting on? Hey Lauren, hey Matasbo, hey Lord Tachanka, what are you guys all up to this evening? How are your weekends going? So tonight we're going to be talking about a bunch of different topics. If there's any topics you guys want us to talk about as well, feel free to leave them in the chat. And we might get round to that depending on what it is. And yes, I do have a hoodie. This is, wrong side. This is a Fallout hoodie. On top of that, it's a Vault Tech hoodie that was purchased for us. I wonder who by. So yeah, that's all that. We've got a new UI tonight as well, since we are kind of trying to move away from the Fallout 76 aspect of things, and I'm trying to do more things outside of that realm. Hey Cyanide, how are you getting on? Welcome to the stream. The Talk, I had that back in my teens. I hope you are going to teach me some new technique. Jesus Christ, Dio. Jesus Christ. I don't think I'm the one to teach you technique. Definitely not the one to teach you technique. So yeah, we're going into some topics tonight. Now, obviously, you've looked at the thumbnail and the title of the stream. We're going to talk about what's going on at Twitch at the moment. And if you didn't know, there's been, a lot of drama involving Twitch for the past couple of weeks, nearly. I mean, Catherine, how long would you say this stuff's been going on? Like, I've only been aware of it for the past week and a half, but how long in general has it been like this specific stuff been going on?
This specific stuff, which we have, the gambling stuff's kind of ongoing, but they've only started taking action on it. The 50-50 split was recently. That was like the past week.
Yeah, I think that was only a couple of days ago they announced that, didn't they?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the first thing that I was actually wanting to go into. So if you guys don't know about how basically revenue works for Twitch streamers and YouTube streamers, because they're a good parallel. Essentially, when it comes to anything that you donate to me, for example, on YouTube, I don't get the full amount. It's basically a 70% to 30% split. YouTube takes the 30, I take the 70. Now, for years, Twitch has been doing a thing where they basically were splitting it 50-50 amongst the masses, and the big streamers would get a individual deal that would give them this 70-30 split. Now, what they've said to streamers that are currently on that deal is that they are going to they've got until they get to $100,000 earned in revenue, and then what's going to happen is they are going to get their contracts reverted to the 50-50 split, and that basically just means that all these big streamers are going to be losing a lot of money. And while like in percentage wise, it doesn't seem like a huge amount. When you think if they are actually capable of earning $100,000, 20% of that is freaking $20,000. You know, it's that kind of way. If you're big enough for that to matter, then Jesus Christ, it's going to matter. So it is a big, big thing. And let's see. I want to see you play Cyberpunk someday, personally. Anon, I'm definitely going to play Cyberpunk, 100%. So yeah, it's a big kind of problem. The real thing that's going to happen from this, though, is a lot of people are going to probably jump ship and move over to YouTube. So we're probably going to see a lot more changes in regards to who's streaming on YouTube in general. My dog keeps opening the damn door because the wife's not controlling it. But yeah, so we're probably going to see a lot of big names on Twitch moving over to YouTube because of that. And
I don't think so necessarily. I think you're going to see that people are streaming on both with no exclusivity because that's not a clause now in their contract.
But there's that as well.
Yeah.
But it depends on if they get enough of a following over there, because it's a case of if you stream on Twitch and you're getting 50,000 people a month watching you, and then you stream on YouTube and you're getting 50,000 people a month watching you, it's a no-brainer to go, maybe I should just jump over completely. But then it also has other kind of things like, are they getting the same amount of subscriber numbers? Are they getting X, Y, and Z? All that kind of thing. So it really just depends on what's happening.
Yeah. So there's another facet to this, though, in that very recently, and this has been the push for Twitch to go to 50-50 for everyone, they are pushing out more adverts on Twitch, and that has led to people getting ad incentive offers. And I don't know if you've seen them, but they're wild for some people. Not including pre-rolls, but for some people, if they run like 5 minutes of ad per hour, which is non-skippable. I think one of the biggest offers I saw was about $23,000 a month to do that.
Fucking
and that's
hell.
Completely yours. So their idea is that, you can just play adverts and you get all that money plus more back. So there's a lot of decisions to be made.
But the problem that's inertly with that is obviously with YouTube, the ads for the bulk majority are skippable. So for a lot of people, it does allow them to skip the ads. On Twitch, you can't skip them. And on top of that, with YouTube, most of the content a lot of people are, cannibalizing is videos, which you can pause, start, stop, all that kind of thing. Yeah. And when it comes to a live performance, if you get 5 1-minute videos, you've missed 5 minutes. And something could have happened in that. Like, if you donated to the streamer, for example, then you've missed your shout-out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that it kind of takes away from people. And from everything that I've seen, all the Twitch streamers I've seen talking about it, they don't want to do it. They don't want to, ideally, they don't want to give people any ads. And it's that kind of thing there. YouTube at least has an out for that in the terms of like YouTube Premium. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying to everybody to go out and buy YouTube Premium, but YouTube Premium means that you don't get a single bit of ads on any content you watch.
So Twitch does have an alternative, which is called Turbo. So I think that's about £7 a month, and that is no ads across the platform entirely.
See, that I haven't seen. So basically, it's encouraging people to go for Turbo then.
Yeah. And of course, they're also encouraging actually subscribing to individual people. You're getting your emote, you're getting your shout-out, you're getting specific perks from that individual.
Yeah.
With no ads on that channel. But
see, I've heard that that's not true anymore. I've heard that people are subscribe to a channel but still getting ads from them.
No, they
That's
shouldn't be.
that's
I mean,
that's been that's been a discussion on a lot of videos I've seen. That's what people have been saying. They're still getting ads. So whether that's a glitch in Twitch's system or
Yeah.
something nefarious is going on behind it, there's not necessarily and you get YouTube Music with Premium. So yeah, you also get basically Spotify with YouTube Premium. So there is different things that you can go about it. I'm just going to catch up the chat for a second, see who's popped in. It's just Bucket, Archive, and Dale. Hello to the three of you. How are you guys doing? Welcome to the stream. We're just chatting away. So yeah, I mean, in terms of what you do, obviously you watch quite a lot of streamers and you're kind of more involved with the communities on there. Do you think it's going to have a massive effect on the people you watch?
No. A lot of the streamers I watch are not under any contractual obligation with Twitch, other than, everyone's usual guidelines, terms of service.
So they already on that 50-50 kind of split?
Yes, yeah.
Because something that a bit of information I was looking up is that the top 1% of people on on Twitch are basically like 95% of the earnings that Twitch gets from, everything. However, to be in that top 1%, apparently, you only need to have around 50-something people watching consistently.
Yeah, concurrent viewers. Yeah,
that blows my mind. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, like I'm not at that on here, but if I've done Fallout streams where I've got 60 people watching consistently, and it blows my mind, like the top 1% on Twitch, which obviously has a massive amount of streamers in comparison, is just insane that it's that low. I don't get me wrong, I've looked through the Twitch kind of stuff and it's been like 1 here, 2 there, 3 there. But it blows my mind that it's such a low number. I would have thought the top 1% were like, maybe 1,000.
Yeah.
It strikes me as very strange. I love my YouTube Premium for no ads. I don't get any ad-free perks from Twitch Prime. I get ads on some of my Twitch subs. Yeah, Dio's saying he's getting some ads on his Twitch subs, so
that's a glitch. Because I mean, even on your stream on YouTube, even though I'm a member, I still occasionally get ads. So there is problems with it.
Oh no, the YouTube member doesn't stop ads.
You should do. It says so.
No, it doesn't stop ads for the stream.
I'm searching it.
I'm fairly certain it doesn't stop ads for the stream, but for the videos, I'm fairly certain it still makes you watch ads. Like, I'm almost certain of it. I think the only thing that stops ads altogether is YouTube Premium.
Oh.
Like, I'm almost... It's a case that if I were to initiate an ad right now, for example, anybody that's not a member or doesn't have an ad block on would not see ads. But anybody that doesn't have ad block on and isn't a member would see ads. That's my thought process behind it. I mean, I could be wrong on it, but that was my understanding when I read those kind of things in the past. But it really, really just depends. But yeah, no, it just seems like a kind of scummy thing for them to do. And don't get me wrong, I don't think a lot of people are on that 70-30 split anyway.
Oh no,
by comparison to who's not on it. But I think it's more of a kick in the face for people that haven't been on it and now will never be on it. And if the ads are, and for a lot of people I've heard saying that the ads on Twitch are a fucking pain in the arse, then it is that kind of kicking dirt in their eyes as well type thing. But it is encouraging them to subscribe and or get turbo I suppose is the best way to look at it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the idea with Twitch Prime initially was that it was turbo. So you got no ads, you got your free sub to whoever you wanted every month. But now it is just the sub that you get.
And the free loot from games and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, you do get some good free games, I will say.
I mean, I use Prime's benefits for just Prime. Like, I don't use it for the Twitch stuff at all. So I see it as for value. So the getting free stuff is definitely good. I hate ads so much on Twitch, but on YouTube it's fine because they're skippable. Yeah, bucket. But the thing is, it's that kind of way where when it comes to ads on YouTube, I can sort of understand the necessarily evil of them, because if you watch those ads, that person gets paid. If 1,000 people watch those ads, that person gets paid. So it's a good way to support people without actually doing anything. All you're really giving up is like a couple of minutes of your time, that kind of thing. But if you're being forced to watch 6 unskippable ads at the start of every stream, that is like, it's TV. It's at that point it is actually became TV.
It's worse than TV because sometimes they'll just pop up in the middle.
Yeah.
Of your programming, and you can't.
Well, you can't get it back.
Pause your stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, there needs to be. I think there needs to be a balance of it. I think the streamers going, we're going to do an ad now, so I'm going to go and do nothing for the next minute.
Mm-hmm.
That works out fine because you're not missing anything, because they've went, right, I'm just going to sit here.
Yep.
Like if it was that would be fine. But then there's the people that are obviously not getting the ads. Then they have to entertain them for that minute. So it's kind of it's a dual-edged sword where you're encouraging people to do something to not get the ads while trying to
I mean,
not leave people out. It's I think it's a fine balance.
So the biggest issue is the pre-rolls, and those are the really annoying ones. The streamers I watch who do take up, especially the ad incentive offers, which they definitely should do. You know, that's a good lot of money that people are getting. Even the smaller streamers I watch, they're getting at least, 200 or maybe £150 per 2 minutes per hour sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, a lot of the streamers I watch who do the ads, they are really good at trying to work around it. So
I mean, if you've got a contract to do the ads and you're making a good wage out of it, great.
Yeah.
But for smaller people, it's not. It doesn't really help.
The pre-rolls especially are going to hurt the smaller streamers. That's the biggest issue.
Bucket, when it comes to ads on YouTube, the pre-roll ads technically are sort of random. Like you could join a stream and not get any. You could join a stream and get a few. You could join a stream and get 1, or you could join a stream and get 6. But the ads that happen during it are typically controlled by the streamer themselves. There's a button that you press to do it. There's a button that I can press on here that can insert ads. So it depends on what you're saying in terms of the ads. The pre-roll ads, completely random, and there's no control over it. The ads during, completely controlled. So if you're getting an ad during a Twitch stream every fucking 5 minutes, that streamer's being a dick. And I know you can't do it every 5 minutes. It's got like a 10-minute timer, but that's the point. If you're on the clock every 10 minutes, you're getting an ad, then that streamer is deliberately doing that. So yeah, it depends on what way they're going. Now, as we said, this isn't the only thing that's been going on with Twitch. The next thing I was going to go into is that the Twitch vice president has pretty much fucked off. And Twitch has not announced who's going to be taking their place. I've not really read into this because I wanted to get a kind of reaction on it. So the Twitch senior vice president of global creators, Constant Knight, is leaving the company. And a statement shared with staff on Wednesday night said she was off on a new adventure that provides exciting growth opportunities for her, both professionally and personally, in the creator space. Knight's departure from Twitch means the firm has lost its chief content officer, chief operating officer, and Knight's position in the last year alone. Knight stopped short of revealing where the new position would be and if the move came as a result of Twitch controversial revenue share changes. And Twitch, as of yet, has not confirmed who will be replacing her. Neither the vacant chief content officer or operating officer roles have been replaced, despite over 22k votes asking the streaming platform to consider. So that's basically the split. They had 22k people saying they don't want the split, and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, this is a kind of another thing that they've got somebody that's been at the head of the company now leave, where there's a lot of turmoil going on. And the revenue split is the least, I think, of their worries as of recently as well. I mean, when somebody in the company in a high position leaves, there's always that kind of power vacuum, because you never really, like, unless you're in the company, you never really know what they're doing behind the scenes and how much control they have over X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I mean,
I
her leaving was kind of quietly timed at the same time
mhm.
as the announcement for 50/50. And one of the journalists that covered this, or the reporter, stated that sources said the reason was because the chief, Dan Clancy, the president of Twitch, is completely out of touch with creators and, like the rest of Amazon, completely profit focused.
But I mean,
So,
having worked in the same company as me in the past,
mhm.
I mean, we both know that the people at the top of public companies tend not to have any idea what the people at the bottom are dealing with at all. They're like
Yeah.
so far removed from it, and they're so target focused and so specific. Like literally, in most companies that have shareholders, the targets that you have just gradually creep up more and more and more each month
Mhm.
until it gets to a point where it's not sustainable. And what tends to happen is the company just goes into this massive meltdown because the people at the bottom aren't making their targets because the targets become impossible. You know, it's,
Yep.
for example, with our workplace, it went from 50% and it's now over 70% that you need to get.
Yep.
And 70% of people have to do this thing. 70% is a ridiculously high number. And then it's going to go up to 80% eventually. It'll eventually go to 90%. It'll eventually go to everybody has to have this. And it's not sustainable. It just doesn't work in any way, shape, or form. And it will eventually just collapse. Or they'll just have to just go, oh, well, it's as good as it's going to get. But that won't happen because shareholders always want more. And that is the problem with these companies, is that they start cutting expenditure, but they inevitably cut it from the things that support them. And
Yep.
I know you were saying that like that there's deals and things like that. Inevitably, though, there are going to be some big names that leave.
Oh yeah, no, there
And
already has been
right,
prior
yeah,
to them even
oh
announcing
yeah, yeah.
this.
I mean, like we've had people all year leaving them. We've had like Ninja. I don't know if that was last year or the year before.
He's back though.
Well, I think he's doing a thing where he's streaming on everything now, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You had people like Saikuno and whatnot leave and things like that over to YouTube for like a more lucrative contract. And I think that's it's all about who they can get, and trying to buy the people around those people as well. Because I think that what was it, Mixer that tried to get people over? Is that what it was
And
called?
yes, and it imploded because they
Yeah,
got Ninja, they got Shroud.
yeah. What?
Uh,
Because I was
yeah.
looking at an interesting thing about it, and what was really funny is that YouTube's went about it in a different way. They targeted who they want, but they didn't, like Mixer just targeted who they wanted. So Ninja, Shroud, got them, and that's it. But the problem with those two streamers is once they were offline, once they logged off, people had nowhere to go. They just went, all right, I'll just go back to Twitch.
Uh-huh.
So what YouTube has done is YouTube has targeted specific people, and they've went, right, who do these people who watch this guy, the one we wanted, who do they watch when he's not online?
Yeah.
And then they went, we'll get them, and we'll get them and them, and we'll put them all on our platform so that when he goes offline, they'll go to this person's stream. They'll go to that person's stream. And that's such a smart thing to do. I think YouTube is making a lot of really, really intelligent choices. Don't get me wrong, they're streaming like software. The way streams work on YouTube is not as good as Twitch. It just isn't.
But, yeah.
It just doesn't work as well. The whole fact that you have to like authorize yourself to raid somebody's stream with viewers is absurd to me. Do you know how often I would just dump the viewers I've got, like 40 people, onto some random streamer if I could? But it doesn't let me. It doesn't let me just go, oh, somebody else is streaming the game I'm streaming, I'll just dump everybody on them. But it doesn't let me do it. And that's what YouTube is learning. YouTube, the thing you have to remember with YouTube is they are sellotaping things onto something else. It's not like it existed as a streaming platform to begin with. The streaming thing is entirely new to them, and they're learning and they're stealing ideas and getting there. But I just don't think they're quite at the level of
No.
Twitch in terms of how good it is. But they're not bad. It's not. They're doing better than some other places.
It's oh yeah, I mean, at the moment you've only got two competitors, and it's Twitch and
Mm-hmm.
it's a tough one. YouTube is very bare bones. Yeah, and I would just say in terms of what people are talking about in Doctor Disrespect, that was an entirely different thing. It wasn't just money that he went over for. He was not very good. Put it that way.
Yeah, some of the shit that I've read about that is yeah. I'm not even going to go into it. Most of my total time streaming was on Mixer, more hours than YouTube and Twitch combined. But Dio, I mean, I've got nothing against any of the platforms. It's all about figuring what works for you. And some people will enjoy YouTube better. Some people enjoy Twitch better. The thing I'd say about Twitch streaming is definitely a lot more fluid, a lot more easy to run. And all the apps and all the different things are, what's the word? More attuned to Twitch. Like, for example, when I set up a stream for YouTube, the amount of things that don't work on the software I'm using, but do work for Twitch. And that's a generalized thing. A lot of programs, a lot of things work better for Twitch than they do for YouTube, because the YouTube integrations are steadily rolling out. And YouTube is changing a lot more than Twitch is, because Twitch is just a streaming platform. YouTube is a video platform that's sellotaped a streaming platform to the side of it and is currently in the process of upgrading it to try and make it as competitive. Because if you look at YouTube, if it existed as just the same thing as Twitch, but as it is now, it'd be blown out the fucking water by Twitch. It wouldn't survive.
Yeah,
YouTube needs to have YouTube, and then the streaming part of it.
The thing is that Twitch had a huge head start because it was never Twitch to begin with. It was Justin TV.
Mm-hmm.
And then that a few years after that started, because it was the gaming section was getting so big, they split off into Twitch. And then when Justin TV kind of shut down, / Amazon bought them, it just became Twitch as a whole. Which is why Twitch now has all sorts of categories, just like Justin TV did. So.
I thought Doc was allowed back, but he decided to go with Twitch. Yeah. Best not to go into it.
Yeah. I mean, he's essentially a banned term on Twitch. If you mention him, you can get in some trouble, usually with the streamers themselves, but yeah.
With the streamers themselves, what are they going to do?
Pretty much every
get torches?
No, I mean, every streamer I've been into will ban you, or at least time you out and warn you.
Oh, in the chat,
Twitch,
right, yeah.
Yeah, Twitch itself is not a fan of mentioning him, so.
That is what it is. I mean, if somebody's broken the terms of service and done something dodgy or other shit behind the scenes, then you can't expect them to do anything else. Which is why I find it so absurd that the lassie that got banged on stream is back on after 7 days. Like, it's so absurd. I remember I was reading something about a guy who threatened. Well, I say threatened. He joked about beating up a viewer at TwitchCon.
Yep.
And he got banned for like a month.
It was meant to be 7 days. They never reinstated him. After the 9th day, he asked them what's going on, and they were like, "Oh, it's 30 days now."
And it's so absurd. Like, one of their main rules is don't do that don't shag on stream. And they just let her get away with it instead of just permanently banning her, which is what it should have been, because that's only fair.
There's a lot of inconsistency.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's been on YouTube for videos, there is also a lot of inconsistency.
Well, there's the one that I can think of in terms of for YouTube for the inconsistency is I don't know if you'd look into it, and I forget the name, the full name of the streamer. It is the bulk of his name was Kenshin. There was something Kenshin, and he's a black YouTuber, and that's not relevant to what he does at all. He just happens to be a YouTuber who is black. But he made is it Mortuary Assistant? He made a video on Mortuary Assistant and played through the game all that kind of way through, and he got demonetized, isn't the word? It was age restricted.
Yeah.
But he went into other videos of other streamers that were of equivalent size or slightly bigger or slightly smaller, and they weren't, for showing the exact same content. And the only thing that was different between him and them was he was black. So, I mean, the only conclusion you could jump to at that point is that something dodgy's going on. And then he basically mentioned this in a video, said about Markiplier didn't get his YouTube video age restricted, and then it started a whole hoo-ha with it. And like Markiplier released a bunch, like he was like, I'm totally on your side, released a load of videos about fucking, let's see if we can get age restricted. And then he got kicked off of that YouTube whatever it was thing. I honestly can't even remember. It was like a bunch of YouTubers came together, organized by YouTube to create something, and he got cut from it.
Yep.
And there are inconsistencies on all platforms. I don't think you're ever going to find that outside of that, because at the end of the day, there's always somebody at the top that has certain views, certain things, and favorites. There'll be people that can break the rules absolutely every time because they make them too much money. They might.
But this is the thing. Like, if you're looking at other controversies, I mean, obviously Twitch still has an ongoing issue with the kind of adult entertainment softcore stuff.
Hot tubs.
Yeah, even though they've banned like two of the biggest women on that. But I mean, then you counteract it with YouTube Kids, which was just full of absolute garbage for years, really like unchecked.
I mean, let's be honest, it probably still is to a certain degree.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're like, oh, we turned off comments. Don't worry, guys.
The comments were what we were worried about, not the predatory content. And I think that still exists in like the TikTok kind of stuff that's moving into YouTube and getting into YouTube Kids and things like that. There's a lot of weird kind of crap that I've seen, and these people get like millions and millions of views for things that are borderline sociopathic, but still okay, I suppose. And it does boggle my mind with it. Alex Jones. I don't know about Alex Jones.
And you don't want to know about Alex.
I mean, I'm not American, so I don't feel like I need to know about him. I just know that he's a fucking psychopath. And I've saw the videos of the trial that he's currently going through. Yeah. And that man is an imbecile. Like an actual imbecile. Like on his show, he put up a thing about taking the piss out of the judge that was literally presiding over his case. And he put laser beams coming out of her eyes. Like, you do realize that she's gonna fucking take you to the wall, right? Like, you don't piss off the judge in any court case. It doesn't matter if there's a jury or not. Like, judges in a lot of situations can overrule certain things the juries do. So, yeah.
Don't worry about him. He used to just be a conspiracy theorist, a guy to laugh at,
aliens.
But now it's, it got a lot more serious. So now we just don't really talk about him.
Tachanka, that is a topic that we were going to go into as well. But there's also some other stuff. Now, I've not read this article, but it seems like probably a good one to go into. But yeah, so there is obviously reports of naughty stuff that we're not going to say out loud because I don't want to use that word on YouTube. But it's in relation to streamers. Was it shit camp or whatever they were calling it, or something?
Yeah,
and somebody did something to another streamer while they were asleep, and then they tried to downplay it. And this is the kind of thing that I've never understood. These kind of things. I mean, you've known me for years, Catherine, and it's a very, that whole frat boy, like, alpha male bullshit that seems to exist in life in general. And I've never understood these kind of things where these guys think they can just get away with stuff because, like, you know who I am? Do you know who my dad is? All that kind of
Mhm.
thing. And it just seems very harsh that there's women out there that are suffering these kind of horrifying things. And there's probably guys out there suffering these horrifying things because it won't be exclusive to women. And they won't come forward because somebody much bigger than them did something horrifying to them.
Yeah.
It's like, it's really, really bad. And it is disgusting. And it's the kind of thing where I've deliberately tried to keep myself separate from other YouTubers to an extent. And the reason for that is the second you start mixing with other people and other people's communities, the inevitability of something going wrong just seems to ramp up. You make enemies, you make, like, you say something that pisses somebody off, that then pisses off another person, and then apparently then they start making allegations against you about X, Y, and Z. It just seems like it's very dangerous to get involved with these people because it's like school again. It's like going back to high school. And don't get me wrong, this isn't like high school because, you know, you don't do dirty things like that in high school unless you want to be arrested. But yeah, so the one that we can obviously talk about more is, what is the name of the streamer that the Twitch gambling stuff?
The
it-
prominent one right now
Mhm.
is, I think his Twitch username originally was Crazy Slick,
Mhm.
but now it's Slicker.
Slicker.
Yeah,
Because I know
think-
there's two slickers involved in this whole shenanigans.
I think that's what's
one is
confusing me.
dirty stuff, and the other
Yeah.
one's gambling stuff. So
So yeah, I think the second one is your
yeah,
your gambler.
so the gambler streamer that we'll just call Slicker because it's easier to do it, but there's two of them apparently. So he, as Tachanka said, what he was doing is he was essentially stealing things from his viewers and other streamers. So what he was doing is he was not even directly doing it himself. He was getting his mods and or whatnot and messaging people on Twitch and basically saying to them, I don't have access to my bank accounts. I would really appreciate it if you could send me some money to help me get through the week, help me get through the month, all that kind of thing. And then it basically just begging for money. But what he was doing is he was messaging hundreds of people, other streamers. There was literally so many of them, and ended up getting away with $300,000. $300,000. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've got all these messages on like Facebook and Twitter from, you know, assorted people saying, you know, hi, hello, it's me, the Queen. I need some money because I can't get into Buckingham Palace. Like stupid shit. Like people begging for money, saying, "Oh, I don't have any money this month," that kind of thing. It's a well-known scam. But for somebody to go into his own community, people that watch him day in, day out, people that consider them a friends, and then just steal money from them, basically. And stealing is the wrong word because they willingly gave it to him. You can't say he stole it.
He's manipulating them.
But he basically got people to give him money under false pretenses. And it's disgusting. It really is. And I find it just insane, like how to ruin your career really easily. I'm just going to catch up with chat a second. Recently, that's the one I've read. Alex Jones used to get banned on YouTube. Yeah, I'm not surprised. He's a nutter. Hey, Bon, how you getting on, man? 300k. I don't even have 300 pennies. That is a small amount of money to have. And I think he did get banned because it was against Twitch's terms of service. Now, when it comes to the why this guy did it, the reason he did it is because he has a massive gambling problem. And this is it leads into the next point as well. But he has a massive gambling problem, and his streaming channel is basically him just filming himself doing slots and other assorted gambling activities. And I've worked in a bookies. I've literally worked in the gambling industry in the past. And don't get me wrong, I didn't work there for very long. Trust me, you don't want to work there very long. Gambling addiction is a fucking horrible, horrible thing. And as much as in my head I think people that gamble and get addicted to it kind of deserve certain things. You see so many horrible situations. While I was working in the bookies, one of the things that happened to me in my very first day is the manager, I don't know if it's different in America, but in the UK, there's a duty of care involving gambling. So if somebody were to tell you that they're addicted to gambling and they don't want to gamble anymore in the store, you are legally obligated to get them to sign like a form. You take a picture of them and you ban them from the store. Like they basically are voluntarily banned from the store. And you're legally required to remind people, to take breaks and all that kind of thing. And you're to encourage them to not spend all their money in gambling. My very first day, the manager told a guy that he was barred from the shop because he'd signed the forms and legally she wasn't allowed to let him in. And the thing that he basically said that literally was like a punch in the chest, he looked her dead in the eye and said, "What else am I supposed to do when I'm sad?" Like, this is what this guy did. He would come in, spend all his money because he was depressed. And that's the thing about the gambling industry. It preys on these very vulnerable people. Yeah. So this guy that scammed people, not to say he's not in the wrong, he's definitely in the wrong in a massive way. But that's the kind of thing that people do. They steal from other people. They'll steal from their wife's purses, their mum's purses, their grannies. They'll sell things that aren't theirs. They do anything to get to that gambling kind of thing. And it's not actually... Gambling's really, really invasive. It's not the winning that gets you addicted to gambling. It's the nearly winning. It's like, when I was there, they taught me all this shit. And it's a case of what actually gets you addicted to gambling. See, every time you do a slot machine, and it would come up bar, and then the next one would be a fucking cherry. That's more addictive than winning. Like, that's what people go, "Oh, so close, I'll do it again." But that's not how gambling works. It's not random chance either. Like, gambling isn't random chance. Like, machines have a very specific kind of payout ratio and things like that, just enough to get you hooked and whatnot. And you have to be lucky to actually win. The house always wins. And that's the kind of thing that's so bad about it. And it breaks my heart that so many people fell for it. And I doubt it's a 300,000 people that paid them $1 each. It's going to be people that have dropped them $1,000. People have dropped them more than that.
I have a feeling that Trainwrecks, who's another big gambling streamer, may have actually dropped him 100k. I think I saw that right.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, hold on, I need to find...
Why don't I have friends like that? But no, it's so insane. Love the outfit today. Yeah, it's the Vault Tech jumper that Bubba got us using the Throne link that is down below. So you can thank Bubba for the outfit. Hey, Lot Hinginger. Yo, I'm doing 100 days in random streams on YouTube. It's day 20, and remember to drink water. Thank you. I'm drinking tea currently. But welcome to the stream, man. How are you getting on? Claw machines are definitely a scam, Tachanka. Claw machines are fucking horrible. I went to Blackpool a couple of months back, and we spent a lot of money on claw machines for the kids, and I mean, it's just fun. That's what it is. But yeah, it was a pain in the arse. I absolutely hate claw machines. I want to dress up as a South African prince from those old emails and ask for help on stream and see if it works. I mean, when you think of like streamers and stuff like that, there's a lot of people that just flat out go, send me money. I mean, it was a thing I saw recently. There was a Twitch streamer, and you've seen these Twitch streamers before, the ones that shame their chat for not donating to them. It's like, you can't afford $1, you can't afford $5, and they're like shouting at these people because they're watching free entertainment. But that's the thing about streaming. It is free entertainment. A lot of the time you can say, like, for the people that are putting up ads on Twitch, they're getting paid to put the ads up on Twitch, so that it's not free. Like the ad companies are paying for it. When you watch my YouTube videos, if you're using premium, then the ad companies aren't paying for it there. YouTube is. But YouTube is paying it because you've already paid them. And then when it comes to videos that you are watching ads on, the ad companies are paying for it. Like most of the money I make on YouTube is from ad revenue. And that should be rightly so. You shouldn't expect people to fund your lifestyle. And don't get me wrong, it's lovely. It's absolutely, warms my heart when you guys support me. But it's not necessary. It's never been necessary. And if it becomes a point where my entire life is hinged on the generosity of others, I'm in a bad place. Like if you are relying on other people's money, and don't get me wrong, it's always other people's money in one way, shape, or of another. But if you're relying on somebody giving you money each month, you're in a bad position. You really are. You've made some poor life choices because it's just a flick of a switch, and you could say something wrong. Like I could get my channel banned, and then I'm fucked because I don't have any money. And that's not the case. Obviously, I work. My wife works. If I lost my YouTube channel today, I would, life would move on. But that's these people are horrifying. There was a woman that recently said that a guy donated $1 to her, and a guy this is the point. The guy donated money to her, and then she started saying, $1? Really? What can I buy with that?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you better subscribe in the next 3 seconds or you're getting banned. And it's fucking disgusting. I mean, I think that's the worst thing about that I see coming out of Twitch is all these people that are just so entitled and so ungrateful to the people that are actually, keeping them where they are. They wouldn't be there if it wasn't for the people that are donating this $1, $2, $3, 100 grand. They wouldn't be there. Was it that train wreck guy that donated 100 grand to him?
So yeah, so from what I can see, because I think it was maybe in a video, I think it totaled about 100 grand, yeah, over
Fucking
a
hell.
few payments. But like I say, Trainwreck he's a big gambling streamer. He plays with Drake, like roulettes and all that. So
I mean, if you're good at gambling, and
yeah,
this is the thing, you do get good gamblers. There's people that can just do nothing but win.
Mm-hmm.
But they're smart. Like, for example, blackjack. Like, if you're good at blackjack, if you're good at poker, if you're actually a good player, you can make a lot of money. And it is, for the most part, skill, bluffing, all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But most games aren't that way. Roulette, there's no rhyme or reason. Like, you can't be good at roulette. I mean, there's elements of luck and patterns and things like that, but you can't physically be good at something that is random enough.
Yeah.
So it is that kind of way where you have to pick your battles. And the biggest problem with the Twitch gambling stuff, and I mean that's leading into the next point, is that they have put a ban on a lot of different live streaming content involving gambling, specifically involving certain websites that don't pass whatever credentials they are. It's very different in the UK because what we would regard to be legitimate gambling websites will be different in the US. There's going to be different laws. So I can't rightfully talk about the specific stuff because I don't really know about it. But essentially, from my understanding of it, most of the stuff that they're banning is the stuff that is pure chance and things like your slots, your roulettes, poker. It will be untouched. I don't know if there is online blackjack streams, but I'd assume so because it's card counting. I mean, if you count cards, you can fucking win big with stuff like with blackjack. So these kind of things, the things that require an element of player skill or player knowledge, will be fine. But all these kind of roulette streams, and from what I understand, that's actually most of them. And one of the websites that they've banned, I don't know if it's got it on here. Stake, yeah.
Stake.com.
Yeah.
They've spent millions sponsoring streamers.
So they're like the biggest supporter of these gambling streamers, and they've literally basically just pulled their funding. That's literally what's going to happen. They've pulled their funding. So all these Twitch streamers that were sponsored by these websites and probably earning a shitload of money out of it, all their money's now gone. Well, not really, but it's pretty much gone. So they're going to have to find new audiences and do what they can with it. And don't get me wrong, I am very much on the side of Twitch with this kind of thing. Gambling is very bad. And when it comes to, like, you know, in video games, we're always gambling something. You're always, like, opening boxes to do things, and there's always an element of chance to it. And that's how you get addicted to games in a lot of cases at the moment. But when it's, you know, you're using just your time, it's not as bad as when you're losing your life savings. So I think gambling actual money is so bad. And I'm a bit of a hypocrite when it comes to it, because I do put on, like, the lottery every so often.
That's measured and controlled.
Yeah, I've got limits in my head, and I know that you need to set limits. For example, I won £30 the other day from the lottery. So I like, but I didn't spend that money then on more lottery tickets. Like, I put a fraction of it back in because I was like, oh well, I won that in the lottery, so I'll put another lottery on for the next one in case I win again. But then the rest of it, I immediately withdrew, because that's what you do when you win. Take the money. When you lose, stop.
So I think what we need to do, like, and to also round back to Slick, is that the thing that Twitch are not banning is sports gambling, and that was his issue. That was where all the money went.
But that's
so there's still this concern around it.
But the thing is, you can pop. It's not like with sports gambling. It's not like you can't just pop 100 grand on a game. It's literally, you could pop any amount of money on just things randomly. It's such a massive thing. Gambling is a massive industry, no matter where you go and what country you go to. I mean, you can go to third world countries and you'll find people just gambling in bars and things like that. It'll be as simple as just, you know, throwing dice. Like, schools think, I mean, I don't know if this translates to American schools or anywhere else, but I mean, Catherine, do you remember being at high school and playing Chippy?
Yep.
And if you guys don't know what Chippy is, it's basically you throw coins at a wall and whoever gets closest wins.
I mean, not even that. We had other ones like that. So
yeah, and you're basically, it was pennies you were throwing at the wall, but it's still money. And gambling is a very big part of human society, and it's all about finding, you know, measured responses to it and not doing it too much. I'm just going to catch up with chat again. Yeah, don't come looking to me for that kind of cash. Dio, I don't think if anybody ever gave me 100 grand, I think I'd have a fucking heart attack and die. Like, I don't think I'd be alive. I'd immediately just, like, keel over, because that is just a mind-boggling amount of money just to give someone. Not even to loan them, to just go, here you go. It's just insane. My friend got a FNAF plushie from a claw machine. I don't know how he did it. The thing about the claw machines, they are like the the slot machines. They, every so often, because the problem with the claw is that it's designed to let go. So every certain amount of times it's used, the claw will lock and pick up whatever you fucking get. They're designed to pay out after, say, 100 attempts. So what people tend to do, and it's something that I remember seeing in Friends, what people do is they'll wait and watch people playing these machines, and they'll watch somebody put in like 20 quid, 30 quid, 40 quid, 100 quid, and get nothing out of it. And then they go, I'm playing on that machine, because they know it's due a payout. And then
same with slots.
Well, yeah, exactly.
As well. Yeah.
Exactly. That it was in a Friends episode, and it was this old woman was chasing Phoebe and lurking behind her, and that's how that kind of works. Those claw machines are the same. Gambling
for kids.
Well, exactly. Gambling is not unpredictable. It's only unpredictable if you don't know what you're looking for. And that's why there's an element of skill to certain ones of them. Drinking tea from your wife's cup. Dale, I didn't even buy this cup for me, and this is my cup. My manager at work bought me that cup for some reason. I'm not even joking, it's really weird.
Was that up here or down where you are?
Oh, down where I am.
Oh, okay.
I remember a woman demanding people to donate because they work so hard sitting alone in a bar. Oh, yeah, I don't understand. Like, this isn't difficult. This is not a difficult thing for me to do. It's talking to people online. It's something I've done for decades. It's not difficult. I've done it for free for a long time. It's just a case that I actually enjoy providing people with entertainment. And when it comes to streams, I see it as more exposure. You know, somebody that's never watched me before might come in, go, this guy makes some valid points. This guy's entertaining. I'll maybe keep on watching him. It's that kind of thing that I do this for. And if I get something out of it, then yeah, great. But it also means that people tomorrow, the next day, a week's time, a month's time, a year's time, they'll watch these streams as well. Like, my streams gradually get views on them. So it does benefit me by making these. It's a slow kind of thing, but it does have a benefit to it as well. Let's see, I thought the F word and F it in the ball. What the fuck? Twitch banned my account for bullying. I told someone to shove off. Shove off? What? What if you said the word shovel? Would they ban you for that? Sounds like a third world country game, joking. I have loaded dice. I used to have loaded dice in middle school. I had a perfect grip on the round thing and it let go. Yeah, that's the point. They grip on, lift it up, and then they let go almost the exact same height every time because they're designed to let go. Whereas if you ever get something out of those claw machines, when it's got the thing, it fucking holds on to it like the Incredible Hulk. It will not let go. If it gets a hold of anything at that specific time, it will not let go. So yeah, they're designed to let you win after a certain amount of times. It's like carnival games, where things are designed to be very deceptive. There's certain games that you can't win, certain games you can win, but they're designed to make you think you can win. It's all about that nearly getting a win type thing. That's why the claw machines are addictive, because it tricks you into thinking you're winning something and then drops it. That's more addictive than if you won multiple times, because you're constantly going, oh, one more, I was so close. I'm so good at this. I keep picking up the thing every time. Whereas if you went to pick it up and it didn't get a hold of it at all, then you wouldn't be inclined to put another coin in. It's very, very, very deceptive and invasive. It's gambling, and people that are involved in gambling are incredibly smart, and it's all psychological. Hey Toaster, how are you getting on, man? Not gonna lie, I never use Twitch. I don't blame you. Twitch is not for everybody. It really depends on what you want to watch, who you want to watch, I think is a big factor. Because I know there's plenty of people out there that go to Twitch and watch one streamer and not a lot else. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but you know, if you're not going to go and watch it, then I wouldn't recommend it. Apparently in claw machines, you got to click after when it holds something. Anon, did you ever play Pokemon? Because there used to be a thing where people would say if you hold X and down, it guarantees that you'll catch the Pokemon. I can tell you, it doesn't fucking do a thing. It's the same thing for that. There's people that gamble are incredibly superstitious. You know, it's like that fucking lucky rabbit's foot, a horseshoe on their wall. People that do gambling are very, very, very superstitious. Hey, Squishy the Fishy. I twitch after a really good head rush.
Nope.
Wait, what?
No, don't. We won't go into that one.
Just what?
Illegal substances.
I like some content creators on Twitch, but YouTube is my home. Yeah, I think it depends on what you're really watching. I mean, I find if I watch someone on YouTube in terms of streaming and things like that. Typically, I've watched a lot of their videos first. Like, I don't go straight to watching a streamer. Like, it's always, I've watched a bunch of their videos and I go, oh, so-and-so is streaming. I'll go check them out and see what they're doing. I would never go, oh, there's a stream there. I'll go watch this random person. It's typically the videos that draw me in first, and then I go from there. But yeah, no, it really, really is dependent on things. I mean, I know a lot of you have been talking, but what is everybody's opinion on the things going on with Twitch? I mean, do you think their currency split, what's the word? Revenue split is fair on the people on their platform? You know, what do you think about the gambling thing? Do you think it's insane that some guy managed to fucking scam people out of 300 grand? 300 grand. I mean, that's literally multiple houses. Multiple freaking houses. And then he probably gambled it all away as well. Which is even more depressing. To be fair, that is very true, Catherine. You could just stand up and get a head rush.
I know.
I've had head rushes. Though I only had them when I was a teenager.
You can get them from elsewhere as well. But, yeah. I think the split, the 50-50 split, is a tough one, because I do follow a couple of people who have thrived off of it, because that's all they've ever had.
Well, yeah.
I mean, the 70-30 thing it's never necessarily unknown. Like, it wasn't hidden, but first people didn't know about it unless they'd signed the contract.
Yeah. But the thing is, I think the problem with it is people are saying that YouTube is doing it their way. And they're making that comparison that YouTubers are getting this 70-30 split. Why aren't we allowed it? And I think the justification behind it is sound. Like, it doesn't make sense, because Google and Amazon are two massive companies, and Amazon's one of the fucking biggest companies in the world. It's not like they don't have the money, so it is a bit shit. And I think it is very much the shareholders versus profit argument. It's a case of they're cutting costs with the shareholders, and they're taking that money out of the streamers and putting it into their pocket and putting it into their profits, so they can go. And then they're saying, well, play more ads, because you play more ads, that also gets them more money, because they'll take. I mean, I don't know what their split on ads is, because I'm assuming that'll be slightly different.
Well, with the ad incentive thing, like I say, if they'll offer you 3 things per month. So it's either to run 2 minutes of ads, 3 minutes of ads, or 4 minutes of ads per hour. And also how much you have to stream that month to be eligible. They will give you, say, for like 2 minutes, you get $200, 300, 400. And that money is yours if you actually fulfill that obligation and you signed up for it.
Yeah.
It's completely yours. There's no split. That's yours.
But see, that like, if you're doing X amount of ads, that's the amount of money you're getting. But how much is Twitch get? Because the thing is, as much as you're getting a split.
Yeah.
If Twitch is like, you run the amount of ads you're getting, and Twitch gives you £400, for example, but the companies that have paid for those ads gave them £1,200, then there is definitely, Twitch aren't gonna not take money from it. They're definitely taking money from it. But it's how much money they're taking. I think on YouTube the ads are a 50-50 split. Like, I think the ad money is actually 50-50. I could be wrong on that. It could be 70-30. But I do know that the ad revenue is slightly different than like the money you guys drop on like subscriptions, members, super chats, all that kind of thing. There is a difference to it. Hey, Indica, or THC, or Miss, welcome to the stream. And yeah, ads are annoying. I think they're a necessary evil when it comes to this sort of thing, though. I mean, the way I'd look at it is, if you're not paying something for entertainment, you're inevitably going to get ads. And it's the thing with all streaming services. If you're not paying like for a premium subscription, then typically you're going to get, unfortunately, ads. So I can understand why ads are a thing on streaming platforms, because it's not cheap to run the equipment and that kind of thing. But it depends on the way the ads are run. And they need to be at logical points. When it comes to streaming, I honestly think that if you're going to do ads, everybody should see the ads, like no exceptions. Like if I was to pop an ad down now, every single one of you should see that ad. Or if you don't see that ad, you see a blank fucking screen for the next however long the ad is. And then it continues after the ad's gone. Because on a live stream, like I could be making the most eloquent and, thought-provoking point ever. A life-changing statement. I fucking doubt it when it's me talking, but I could be. And then an ad pops up. And you've just missed the entire point of what I'm saying. I mean, you could be watching a stream where they're trying to do a Guinness World Record, where a guy's shoving, I don't know, matches up his nose or in his mouth. And you miss the point where he gets to it because an ad pops up. Like, there's so many things that can go wrong in a live stream that are completely ruined by an ad popping up randomly. That, yeah, it's a bit stupid to have ads on live streams without having caveats of everything stops while the ads are on. That's just me, maybe, but I don't know. So I
agree. Yeah.
So on Xbox, I can skip ads, but not on phone. I don't think it's intended. It's a bit of a trick. Well, is that on Twitch, Toaster, or on here? My head used to spin when I took a Monster Energy drink, a kombucha, vitamin drink, and a ginger energy shot. Was high all day. I dropped dead asleep. The fuck? I don't drink energy drinks. It gives me like a fucking heart attack. So Amazon can spend... Oh, fucking hell, yeah. That's a big fail on Amazon's part there. I think Amazon is taking the L's a lot recently. Rings of Power was just... Oh, the amount of things I've seen about it. I mean, I love all the memes of Eminem as Sauron. It's just so bad. And I think the biggest problem is that they've subverted a lot of Tolkien's deliberate thoughts and wishes with that series and the whole woke culture thing. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the kind of LGBT community and having more representation and things. But when you deliberately go against what the actual offer, the actual person, and he's dead, so he can't stand up for his thing, when it's actually things he's said in the past that he doesn't want this, he doesn't want that, and then you go against it. I think it's a bit shitty. It would be like fucking me dying and then somebody, I don't know, I'm trying to think, somebody putting my image in a fucking gambling advert. I would be livid because I do not want to promote actual gambling. A stick does not stick, but is sticky only in the way that it is a stick. The fuck? I mean, you could have simplified that by telling one of the age-old dad jokes. What's brown and sticky? A stick. Very simple. Bubba's been awful quiet. She could be dead.
Bubba has voices in the background.
Well, I mean, you should be taking your medication. That'll drown out the voices.
Oh, they're not in my head. They're behind me.
Well, hit them with a stick.
That's against the law.
Only if you get caught. I mean, mute yourself while you do it. Just eh. But yeah, I mean, that I just wanted... Is there any other kind of things, fires to be put out from Twitch that you can think of, Catherine?
It's all ongoing stuff.
I mean, anything big, because I'm still quite happy to talk about it a little bit more. Is there anything specific, and I can look it up?
I mean, I think you've kind of touched on obviously the most recent
Yeah, the
things.
the most major stuff.
Yeah, over the past month or so. Um, there is still a lot of drama that's just ongoing and evolving. So
We'll maybe
yeah,
cover the topic again.
but I mean, I would just say, and I don't think it's something you necessarily want to talk about, but with the new YouTube Shorts monetization,
Mm-hmm.
they could end up starting to push that onto regular videos. So I know the idea is that Twitch is ruining things by doing 50/50,
Mm-hmm.
but YouTube's new short thing is actually not as good as it sounds on paper due to what it actually is.
Oh,
Even though you're getting money, it's not quite what it seems.
well, what they've done when it comes to the YouTube Shorts monetization. I mean, they've had um the ad revenue thing on there, and I do get like pennies
Mhm.
on my shorts that have done relatively well. But if you compare like the amount of views on a short to the amount of views on a video, and then you compare like the ad revenue you get from it, it's like a fraction of it. You really need, like, for a YouTube short to do well, it needs to go fucking viral. It needs to be getting the millions of views.
Mhm. But are you aware of how it's working going forward in 2023?
I don't think I've looked into it that much,
Okay.
but yeah, enlighten me.
Haha.
Oh,
There's different
talk
moving.
about it, because like
Yeah.
they they fucking can do what they want, but yeah.
So there's different moving parts, but they sort of came out and said we're going to be monetizing it. There's going to be ads in between the shorts. So if you've ever looked at
Hmm.
it on phone and it just, skips constantly between the videos, there's
Yeah,
going to be
I've
ads
seen
in
that.
between
Yeah,
it.
I'm
And
seeing that already. I'm actually seeing that
yeah,
already.
I think they're going to be pushing it out more though, like
Hmm.
different regions in 2023. That's what I think I've read. So they've come out and said, right, what it's going to be is a 50/50%. Sorry, not 50/50. 55% to YouTube,
Hmm.
45% to creator. However, that's not actually what you're getting. So, say it's all region specific. So, say in the UK, out of the ads that are made for a month, that money brings
Hmm.
in £100,000. You're not going to be getting much of that because it is going to be split amongst all the UK people who put out shorts during that month. It's
Fucking
going to be
hell.
split equally. However, you're not getting 45% of that anyway. You're not going to be getting 45 grand split between you because what YouTube is doing is they're taking off the money from music licensing. Even if you don't use music, all that money they're about to put towards it is going to get taken off first.
Fucking
And
hell.
then it's going to be their 55% off, and then the 45% split equally amongst all the people who put up shorts. But they also
Right.
can't give you the money, like the actual money amount for those licensings,
Hmm.
because they just won't release that. So in reality, you could end up with very little from shorts
Oh
unless you are
yeah.
making like millions of views from them every month.
The thing about it's the same with TikTok. Like
Hmm.
you get all these people that are TikTok famous and whatnot, but I don't think they're very well off. I mean, there's a lot of it's the same with Instagram and all these kind of things. A lot of these people that are doing the lifestyle Instagram pages and things like that,
Hmm.
they are spending all their money on upkeeping an image, and it'll be like, look at this fucking Rolex watch that I bought. But then they're probably eating noodles for the rest of the month.
Yeah.
You know, they rent like a place and they go and live there for like a week, but they'll take like fucking 6 months worth of content and film it to make it look like they're living in a mansion. And it's very much a fake it till you make it type atmosphere. And TikTok is no different. I mean, you need to seriously get a fuckload of views in order for it to really take off,
Hmm.
and for you to get any benefit out of it. Whereas in YouTube, I think if you're getting 100,000 views on all your videos and you're releasing, a couple of videos a week, you can get by quite well. Like you
Yeah.
could be comfortable is probably the best way to put it. I wouldn't say you were living a lavish lifestyle, but you'd be comfortable.
Hmm.
So YouTube does have that kind of advantage. I don't know how that would translate to regular videos, because I think regular videos are always going to be YouTube's bread and butter, because If I make an hour-long video, the amount of ads that YouTube can stick on that is far higher than they can ever do for shorts.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to be, because the thing with the short ads is you can just scroll by them like a short. They actually pop up like another short. So you can just scroll through them. So yeah, great, you looked at it, but you've probably just scrolled past it. Whereas with the ads on YouTube, and as much as you can skip them, you've still maybe watched it for 10, 20 seconds, depending on the ad. And you've maybe like been not looking at the screen, so you've maybe not skipped it at all. So there's all these kind of factors to it. And I definitely think YouTube wants you to make longer videos. They want audience retention. They want you to watch for longer. And shorts, they're trying to push as a way to get exposure, but I think they're just trying to get the TikTok, the people from TikTok to come over to YouTube. And what they really want you to do shorts for is if they watch one of my shorts plugging my channel, they then click on the channel, subscribe, watch my videos.
Yeah.
That's the kind of idea behind it. I've looked into it, and they're constantly telling us to push shorts and advertise our channel with them. They're not telling us to put out shorts to actually make shorts. Like, they don't give a fuck about that. They clearly don't.
Some people are shorts creators. That's
of course.
Exclusively what they do, and they do it very well.
Well, the people,
I know where you're coming from.
The people that do it well and get their niche are going to do really well because they're creative about it. But think how many times you watch like shorts or TikToks, and they are like the exact same thing as everybody else's one. Like even the shorts that I do are exactly like, you know, other channels that do shorts. But mine's are more tailored towards the specific thing that I do. You know, but they're similar to what other people do. They like the format is the same.
Yeah,
it's just
it has to be.
Me utilizing a kind of format that exists because it's easy to do, and you know, people find it relatively funny. If it's against the law, why was my backside so sore when I was a kid? Dale, the laws have changed. The world has changed. Very, very much changed. Let's see. Cool. Cyberpunk just beat the peak player record on Steam, beating The Witcher 3, so CD Projekt Red. I think Cyberpunk has done a No Man's Sky. Like, it was a game that just got universally shit on. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't a bad game on launch. It was a buggy game that had a lot of broken things, and a lot of people couldn't play it properly. But Cyberpunk was never a bad game. The storyline was good. The concept was good. The actual look of the game was fucking stunning. Everything about it was absolutely fantastic, apart from it was buggy. However, as you guys know, and most of you know, we've been playing Fallout 76, or rather, I've been playing Fallout 76. Bob has been playing Fallout 76. I think I just see Tim in the chat. I could be wrong.
You do.
Hello, Tim. Welcome to the stream, man. How are you getting on?
Awesome.
But yeah, we've been playing the buggiest game alive, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, Bethesda is the king of making buggy, shitty games. And the advantage is as well, Cyberpunk is a single-player game. So a lot of the problems with it, at least on PC, were getting fixed by modders. It always happens if a game releases buggy and kind of broken, modders always step up and fix things. And that's not to say they should have to. They literally shouldn't have to. These modders, in theory, should only exist to make additional content for games. They shouldn't be fixing bugs and they shouldn't be fixing problems. But they do, because they want to enjoy the game, and concurrently, they want everybody else to enjoy the game. And I think Cyberpunk is getting the recognition that it finally deserves, because CD Projekt Red have went in and they have put in the time. They've not got any extra money out of the game because they don't have like gross monetization with the game at all. They never, and I don't think they ever will, because that's just not the company they seem to be. And they have just put in a lot of work to get it where it needs to be. and now they've kind of changed their vision of it. Because originally they were wanting to release Cyberpunk and kind of move on after that. But because they had to put a lot of work in to get it where it needed to be, they've kind of decided to bring out DLCs and other things for it, which is fine. I don't begrudge that. I actually hope they would. And yeah, it's getting to a point where it's looking really cool. And I don't know if anybody is an anime fan in the chat, but I would heavily recommend, if you haven't already, to go and give the Cyberpunk Edge Runners a watch on Netflix. I really, really enjoyed this anime. I really, really enjoyed it. It was absolutely fantastic. The characters were really relatable. And having played Cyberpunk, it actually, the things that were going on in the anime had more meaning and were more nuanced than if I wasn't an anime fan. If I was just a random person watching it, it's absolutely fantastic. And it actually, the anime and the coverage Cyberpunk's been getting recently encouraged me to go back and get something that I'd intended to get on launch of the game, which was the Legendary Edition, which will be showing up in the next little while. So I'll have a Cyberpunk statue and some merch and stuff like that. And with it is coming a game code for Cyberpunk. So I will probably be giving that away to somebody during a stream in the near future, probably during a Cyberpunk stream. So I'll do a Cyberpunk stream and then give away a code to somebody in the chat at some point. So we'll see how that goes and see what happens. Hey, Brian. Don't know if I said hey already, but hey, Brian. What's crack-a-lackin'? Seen the anime, found the in-game locations. Yeah, I like the fact that they added in the game locations and they added in some of the items from the characters from it. And the cool thing about Edge Runners is it does open up other possibilities. Like they could make more series of it. Because it's a in-universe thing that there's a lot of things that you could do with it. On top of that, if you guys don't already know, Cyberpunk isn't technically a video game originally. No, it is a game. It's a tabletop game like D&D. So there is even more of that. There's like literally D&D style books out there to play Cyberpunk, and that's a pretty cool thing as well. It's something I actually want to get at some point. And then you never know, they might start releasing new books based on the games rather than like the actual original Cyberpunk stuff, just to kind of make more money out of it. I definitely hope they make another game of it and everything as well. Regina Jones base at Kiwi's pad. Or Regina Jones base, it's at Kiwi's pad. Okay. I'm confused. Regina Jones confused me. But yeah, there's so many different cool things. I'm looking forward to see what else they do with it, but I really, really love Cyberpunk. I love the whole Blade Runner-esque type stuff. I think it's really cool. I mean, what do you guys think of Cyberpunk? I mean, I don't know if any of you have played it. I'd assume you have, Catherine.
No,
But really?
I haven't. Well, I got put off by all the bugs in the beginning, so I just never bothered.
I mean, I would recommend you play it.
Yeah, no, I probably will at some point.
'Cause
I haven't gotten around.
I genuinely had no real issues with it when I originally went and played through it. The only issue I had with it is the same issue that I have with any open world game, is that I get distracted by the most weird shit. Like, I'm gonna climb this building, like that kind of thing. It's the open world problem where you go, I'm just gonna fucking go off in this direction and see what I find.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think was the only problem I had with it.
I mean, like when you escape from a vault in Boston, you end up spending the next 3 weeks doing everything else except find your son.
I mean, I'm gonna get round to finding Sean eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely Fallout 4 never once found Sean.
Or you escape from a vault in Washington, D.C. and spend the next 2 months looking for everybody except your dad.
See, in that one, I did find my dad. And I walked into that reactor and then woke up later on not dead.
Mm-hmm.
And in Vegas, I did find that platinum chip. And I did punch that gold-plated man in the face.
Hmm.
But then, like, New Vegas, I played to death. And I actually preferred New Vegas and 3 to 4 infinitely. I think the story was much better. And I think
I
that's
like
the
Vegas.
problem with 4, is the story didn't draw me in enough. But I think the problem with Cyberpunk is that I was playing 76 at the same time I was playing Cyberpunk. So I think my YouTube stuff and videos on 76 made me move away from Cyberpunk. And I feel like now I can finally get back to that kind of thing. I really do love that game. I really love the look of it, everything about it. Nope, didn't get it. Downloading Cyberpunk right now, so can't have an opinion on it yet. Started recently, been loving it. Dad, you should go on the roller coaster. I think I did. I think I did go on the roller coaster, the Chunka, when I played it. It's the one over by... My brain's saying like the bottom right of the map, but that can't be right. I know where it is, though. It's like... it's where there's... I'm not going to spoil it, but there's... I know where you mean. Like, I just love I love the game. I mean, I love Keanu Reeves as well. And Fallout 4 never found my son because there's always a settlement that needed my help. Anon, we don't want to know. We don't want to know about settlements needing the help. My mic is acting up. In what way, Tachanka, is my mic acting up? What's it doing?
I'm fine to us.
Is it exploding? I don't know if it's maybe the stream quality is going down a little bit and the sound is subsequently going down. I mean, Bubba, did you play Cyberpunk?
No, I have not played it, and I don't think I've even looked at it.
I mean, I think you'd enjoy it. It's the way to describe it is basically Fallout in a dystopian future. I mean, it's got all the same aspects that Fallout has. Game mechanics are quite similar to an extent, but definitely better. Like if I was to compare Fallout 4, Fallout 76 to Cyberpunk, Cyberpunk's infinitely better. I mean, the game mechanics are so cool. The things you can do are fucking amazing. And the cybernetic stuff is fucking fun as shit. It's hard to hear because it only happens when you talk. You get a little bit of static when I talk. What I'll do is I'll try and turn down my mic. Maybe that'll help a little bit, because sometimes if I'm too loud, that could do it. Yeah, cool toys. Like, there's so many different cool things in Cyberpunk. And there is also the fact that CG Projekt Red, I think they're one of the best game developers that exists currently, because they actually do care about their consumers. I mean, if you look at The Witcher 3, undeniably one of the best games of all time. I mean, I don't know if there's anybody out there that would ever tell me that The Witcher 3 is not one of the best games of all time. The map in it is absolutely fucking humongous. And they have one of the best DLCs of all time for The Witcher 3 as well, which was Blood and Wine, which essentially was a full second game. I mean, if you've played The Witcher 3 and you've got to Blood and Wine, it's almost as long as the full game again, and then you've got this massive map to go over, and it's just very, very cool. Even the food has cybernetics in Cyberpunk. The cyber sushi. Hey, Fo, how are you getting on, man? Welcome to the stream. I can take my food apart to make a gun. I wouldn't recommend making guns out of your food. I definitely don't think you should make guns out of your food. I don't think it would taste very good in general. So is the static improved any at all? I mean, did it start recently, or was it all the way through? Because unfortunately, I can't hear it unless I go watch the stream, and that would make things awkward. Because you'd hear me making static. No, I'll wait for anybody to do it. So, obviously, I've been fanboying on Cyberpunk a little bit there, but another thing I was wanting to go into tonight was a big leak that happened this week. I mean, can anybody guess what that is in relation to?
Constantine 2.
Yes, it was involving Constantine 2. 100%. I thought it was really cool how Cybernetics had the visual change. Oh yeah, 100% Eagle. If you're going to have something that gives you the ability to punch through a wall, I want to see the visuals of my hands now being made of fucking vibranium. But yeah, no,
Could have been the Witcher spin-off.
The Witcher.
The Witcher spin-off. There's a Witcher spin-off TV series coming.
Yeah, The Witcher, where he goes and witches. I've not seen anything about a Witcher spin-off, but that sounds awesome. I know the new season is wrapping up for The Witcher, and they're going into editing and then releasing.
Mm-hmm. And Reach is getting a new series. It's already in production.
Is that? Oh yeah, I've not watched.
Reacher.
I've not watched that, so I can't.
Should.
I've heard it's good. But the whole Tom Cruise in the movies thing put me off. So I think we spoke about that on Thursday, didn't we?
Yeah, you need to watch this one.
So
about Tom Cruise.
The big
Blood Origin.
Oh, I've seen that. I have actually seen that. I didn't realize that was I thought that was just a promo poster.
The Witcher spin-off series, The Witcher Blood Origin, will debut on December the 25th, and season 3 of the main Witcher show will follow in the summer of 2023.
Is it a live action thing, or is it like the Vesemir thing?
Apparently. No, it's live action, Jobby.
That'll be cool.
Let me have a look.
The big leak that I was talking about is obviously GTA 6 and the footage that was released for that. But more specifically, the little fucker that leaked it all has been arrested for it. So yeah. Now, if you guys didn't know, a hacker essentially, well, we're unsure exactly how he did it. Because everybody, when they think of hackers, they think of, somebody in front of a screen, the Matrix is scrolling through it, and inevitably it's not that. That's not how hacking really works. People think that he's been talking to people and getting passwords, and then eventually that led him into getting into Rockstar's servers, where he's then copied a bunch of stuff, and inevitably ended up with 90 different videos of actual gameplay of Grand Theft Auto 6. Then what the little doodad's done is tried to blackmail Take-Two. Is it Take-Two that publishes it? I could be wrong. Whoever yeah.
No, Rockstar.
But no, Rockstar does the game, but there's somebody else that's involved with them. And my brain is saying it's Take-Two. And Take-Two is notoriously litigious.
Right. Take-Two Interactive.
Yeah. So Take-Two and Rockstar are notoriously litigious when it comes to people. They don't negotiate with terrorists, basically. So they've essentially got the FBI and the police involved. And this kid's been arrested, and he's getting the thumb screws put on him. And it was a freaking Londoner, a 17-year-old child. Oh, shit, I don't want to go with that. A 17-year-old child has been arrested on this. And it's so absurd, because what is he going to get out of this? Like, what did a 17-year-old child think he was going to do to get away with this shit? Like, it's so dumb. I mean, if you're going to steal the stuff, fair enough. But then to go to the company and then try and say to them, I want 200 grand, or I'm selling that source code to somebody. It's just so insane.
All he's going to get out of this is notoriety.
Well, yeah.
It's his name in the papers,
Yeah, he's going to be famous for it. And to be fair, because he's a kid, he'll probably get away with a slap on the wrist. Though he is 17 and not 16, so he could quite easily get tried as an adult over here. But if he was to get any, I don't know how they'd do it. But I mean, Rockstar is a Scottish company, so I don't.
Originally, yeah.
So I don't know how it would go. But yeah, I think he's just going to get a slap on the wrist. But the funny thing about it as well is obviously because our source code was kicking around, somebody got scammed out of money to buy the source code. Like there was an actual transaction and like evidence of a transaction that was, I think, like 100 grand or more. Involving this, and somebody thought they were buying the source code, but it was a guy who didn't fucking have it and just got given 100 grand. Maybe it was that gambling twitcher.
Oh, God.
Maybe that's how he got the 300 grand. It's like, I'll give you the source code for GTA 6. So yeah, it's just an insane kind of thing. I mean, it's going down as one of the biggest leaks in the history of gaming because of the sheer amount of stuff they got. And the outrage involving it has been rather absurd as well. I mean, you've got people looking at the footage and going, "This game looks shit." Like, do you know how game development works? The game doesn't just you don't just make it perfect all the way through. It isn't like you do this scene, perfect it, next scene, perfect it, this scene, perfect it. You build it up gradually. You use I'm trying to think of it. I think models that aren't going to make it into the real game, and you upgrade them as time goes on. It's all about a build-up. And the fact that people are like, "Oh, this fucking game doesn't interest me at all." And the one that got me, and obviously you and Bubba will know this feel all too well, is that people are pissed off that you could play as a woman. It was like, what do you think? Like, it's in this day and age, having a choice is like so stupid. It's like getting angry that you can make your fucking character in Fallout female. It's just so silly. And it surprises me that we've not had the option of a female protagonist in a Grand Theft Auto game so far at all. I mean, it doesn't make sense. You should have the choice between one or the other. Because what difference does it make to your gameplay in terms of, or even the story? It just means you have to do 2 sets of voice lines for the main character. It doesn't change anything. It just allows people to essentially put themselves in the game, which is what games were all about. I mean, how many times do you play a game and you make a character look like you, or your personal image of what you want to look like, that kind of thing?
Well, not all games actually have the main character having a voice at all.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at the BioShock games, where the characters are more ambiguous towards what they look like. Even the Fallout games, yeah, as well. They typically didn't have a voice, so that you could put your own voice in there as you're reading stuff out. But it is a very silly thing where they're criticizing the design choice of putting a woman in. In this day and age, it is just so silly. So silly. Especially when there is evidence that you can choose what you can play. Honestly, the first time I played, I loved I could meet up with a woman of the night and then get my money back. For fuck's sake, Bubba. Hey, most men choose female and get... Oh yeah, Tachanka, 100%. And I can understand the logic behind it. I mean, there's the choice of looking at a guy's ass for, let's say, 100 hours, or looking at a woman's ass for 100 hours. I can understand the logic behind that. I always choose to play a guy, typically. Unless I've got multiple characters, then I'll have a mix. It really depends on the type of game that it is. If you can only have one main save file, then you can guarantee I'll be a guy every time, because I am a guy, and that's what I'll play as. It lets me immerse in it a bit better. And doesn't distract me. Because, in Bubba's words, teenage boy boobs. I expected a giggle there. Well, from Bubba.
I love my teenage boy boobs
See?
in Conan.
Yeah, there's a slider for breast size. It's
Mhm.
hilarious. It's the slider for breast size for the guys as well, which I honestly I was upset it didn't have man boobs. Why would I want a character that looks like me? Well, I don't know, Wiggle. I'm also concerned why Wiggle and Genkai's little icons aren't showing up for me. I mean, is it not showing up for everybody else? Or is it just me that they're being a bit...
Working for me.
They got wrenches.
No, like the icons beside their names. Like their YouTube profile pictures.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'll
Wiggles
refresh
is
the
fine.
stream and see what happens. It's just very strange that it's specifically the two of them. The only thing they have in common, technically, on YouTube is that they are mods here. Oh, no, now Tachankas is doing it as well. What the fuck?
I think your YouTube's broken.
Well,
Yeah.
Probably. But yeah, no, it is, in this day and age, it's a very silly thing for people to get upset at. Especially when the game is unfinished. We don't know what it's going to look like. I think what we're seeing is just very basic shit. And we'll see what happens later on. I don't know if maybe YouTube's streaming is being a bit dodgy, and that's maybe why it's starting to do something daft. Could be. Because it's, doing something weird. I'm going to close that bit down and then open up another one and see if it makes it better. God damn it. Why can things not work the way I wanted them to? It seems to do this every Sunday when I do streams. It seems to have an issue. Don't know if that's specifically to me or to other people, but I remember another Sunday stream, like all of YouTube was like going down.
What's going on?
But it's just YouTube streaming was having issues yesterday. Yeah, it must be having issues tonight then again. But yeah, that's all I had to say on the thing with that. I mean, we've also got, when it comes to more specific things that more specific things in regards to stuff that we've been doing more often. Obviously, you guys, or you might not know, I'm taking a step back from Fallout 76. The reason for that being is it was affecting, as far as I'm concerned, my mental health, and quite frankly, I'm just getting sick and tired of it. On top of that, with a recent update, which I would barely call that, the pit is just, it's not content. It's not. It's shitty daily ops. Well, it's not shitty daily ops, but
DLC, it would be decent, but just to have it as an expanded daily ops sucks.
And we even have Turtle posting a video on how it's mundane today.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, I'll be surprised if we don't get a shitload of people doing a complete 180 in regards to that. Like, every time I post up something negative about it, people have always posted up kind of positive things or telling me that I'm wrong, that kind of thing. But now that someone else has said it, someone much bigger, you typically find that people jump on the bandwagon. And don't get me wrong, Expeditions isn't bad. It's just not good enough. Because there is a distinct difference between something being bad and just not good enough. And it is 100% not the quality content that we were looking for. It's like a fraction of the last major update we got, which was the Brotherhood of Steel stuff. It's basically we just got daily ops again. And it's not going to last. It's literally not going to last.
Even the Brotherhood of Steel storylines were meh.
Yeah, well, they very much were.
I just got so bored I can't be asked to do it with the other two.
Hey, Mr. Free, how you getting on, man? Welcome to the stream. I'm telling you, we need one of those dungeons you see in anime with harder content as you go deeper. I agree, Eagle. I agree. Anything like that would be a fantastic addition, but we're not going to get it.
Go deeper.
There'll be some excuse as to why we can and why we shouldn't. So yeah, I don't think we're ever going to get that. It's the unfortunate thing about it. So yeah, my current kind of position is I need games to play. Cyberpunk is definitely going to be one of the first single player ones that I tackle. I'm really looking forward to do that. We do have Age of Conan playthrough. The first video of that will be released tomorrow. So we do have a video tomorrow that's a different game. And I'm hoping you guys will go watch that and give me your opinions on it. And then, depending on how well that does, will probably depend on how many more videos of that come out. Because obviously, if no one watches it, then I'll be less inclined to make another one quickly. But we'll definitely see what we make of that. And if anybody does want to play Conan Exiles with us, it is on Game Pass for PC and Xbox. I don't know if there's cross-play in it. I don't think there is. Could be wrong. Somebody going to correct me on that? I guess not. But yeah, we have that on there. So if people are wanting to play, there is the opportunity to play in public servers and whatnot. Because you can get like 80 people in some of those servers, 40 people in others. So there is opportunities to play with each other in that game that we'll leave down there. I still want to get an Among Us game going, which is a fucking never-ending source of agony for me. And if you want to play Among Us, go to the Discord server. Bubba, if you would be so kind to link it, that would be great. And then I can pin
On it.
because I want to play Among Us at some point. That would be a great time. Didn't Genkai look that up last time and it wasn't cross? I can't remember. I can't honestly remember. That wasn't. So, perfect. Well, not perfect, but you get what I mean. Sorry, my throat's starting to go a little bit. I don't know if you guys can fucking make it out. I'm going to eat some strepsils. One of those days. What about Alien Isolation? I mean, do you want me to play Alien Isolation, or do you want me just to scream like a little girl because a xenomorph jumps out at me and tries to eat my face?
Scream like a little girl.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I mean, if enough people want me to play Alien Isolation, I definitely can give it a go. Live on stream.
Anal probing.
I don't think the xenomorphs are into that. Better not start smacking what? Like,
Your
you mean,
lips.
I've never smacked my lips. Is Alien Isolation's on Game Pass, isn't it? I believe it is. Let's check that now. I can't see your icon at all, Genkai. I think it's bugging out still. I mean, I can't even see... It won't even let me see the stream anymore. Like, I can only see the chat. And even then, I don't see the full chat. I mean, you don't have a logo. Mr. Free doesn't have a logo. Wiggle doesn't have a logo. People that are... Like, for example, people that have got the membership, instead of the little icon beside their name, it tells me how long they've been a member for instead. It's really weird. And it like overlaps with the text. It's fucking up really badly. I don't know what's going on with it. Spooky stuff in October. Well, we'll definitely see what we can do. I mean, by all means, guys, go over to the Discord and leave suggestions for stuff. Because I do read all of it. Might not necessarily reply to all of it, but I do read all of it. So let's see. Let's look at Game Pass. All PC games. Yep, Alien Isolation is definitely on there. It's one of the first things that popped up. Try to see if there's anything else that's spooky, scary skeletons. I mean, there's the Dead Space series. Dead Space is good. I do really enjoy Dead Space in general. I'm not seeing anything else really horror mode. Though there is things like Five Nights at Freddy's and whatnot. I can see everything sort of now. It's starting to come back. Yeah, you all want the girly girl scream, rather. VR is the best experience. Well, Anon, I don't have a VR headset, so that would be a little bit difficult to do. I mean, I could strap some swimming goggles to my face and pretend I'm in VR. I don't think it would work, but, you know, the VR experience of me going, the goggles, they do nothing. I might replace Fallout 76 with 7 Days to Die. I wouldn't blame you, Bucket. I mean, if you are finding that 7 Days to Die is providing you with a lot more entertainment, do it. Don't make the mistake I did, where I think I stuck around with Fallout 76 far too long. And it's just, as much as I love each and every one of you that comes to my streams, watches my videos, all that kind of stuff, my sanity took a hit with that game. It's like being in an abusive relationship. Bethesda does not appreciate your attention, your money. They are just happy for you to pay them that subscription every month and then deliver nothing in return.
See, now I'm just picturing you as Freddie Mercury doing the ironing and walking around singing I Want to Break Free.
Are you in my head again?
Well, it's a big empty space. There's loads of room.
Well, there is now, after I tidied up in my maid outfit hoovering it. I want to break free. I do love that song. I do love that video. Freddie Mercury's awesome. Baby Dale, do not bring up the baby monsters. You might summon Matasbo.
I have to find that picture I saw earlier.
What picture?
No, not of you. The other picture. Somebody did a cosplay where one half of them was Freddie Mercury and one half of them was Freddy Krueger. It's pretty awesome.
That does sound awesome.
Ooh.
I'll see if I can dig it up later.
Let's see.
Right now I'm in Boston.
If you don't enjoy it, then don't. Yeah, Mr. Free, 100%. If you don't enjoy something, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's just going to wear you down overall. And when you're making content for people to enjoy,
Oh, bollocks.
you should at least enjoy it in some way. And I know, like I'm saying, like the horror stuff that you guys just want to watch me shit myself. There's something. If you think back when you first watched your first horror movie, like little kids shit themselves for horror movies. It doesn't stop them from watching them, and you know why? Because they love to be scared. We all love to be scared. There's something very human about it. Like, there's something about being scared that we like. And yeah, like I'm totally down for doing some horror games. So you guys will need to fire me some, because I don't think I can do a whole October month of Alien Isolation. I don't think it's that long. I think that's like a game I could probably finish in a stream. So if there is other suggestions, you guys will need to pass them forward on the Discord.
Would you be willing to play them with other people?
If you can play them with other people, yeah. I mean, it depends
Okay.
on what the game is.
Uh-oh.
Well,
What?
but how about we play the one where the colourful haired gentleman with the red noses from outer space?
No.
You know, I would be willing to play if you would be willing to play something I pick.
Well, we'll see. I would also need to
Alright.
look at the game itself and see if it's
badly.
Game on.
Baby monster is moist. He did look moist. He left like a slime trail wherever he went. I think it was slime, might have been blood. So he definitely was moist. Very moist. Oh, DPS, you should play GTFO. The what? The Mortuary seems to be the newest. That is the one that that guy got age restricted on.
Where the fuck am I going?
So I was aware of that one. Hey Hanser, how are you getting on, man? Welcome to the stream. What's crack-a-lackin'? Thanks for killing yourself today, Genkai. What?
I have no idea.
I think she's
He killed himself in 76 so that I could revive him in water.
Oh, that thing earlier. Yeah, I wasn't around for that.
Or she's been
about?
Wile E. Coyote and Genkai all day. Just like painting a wall with an exit and watching them run into it full force. Inside the back rooms, I think, is multiplayer. I've seen a lot of stuff about back rooms, but I have no idea anything about it. All I know is a bunch of weird looking scientists going down slides. But I'd be up for that as well. Like any of it, really. I honestly don't mind.
Where the fuck am I supposed to get up? Oh.
So,
I know
Bubba,
what it is.
you seem to have an idea of what you want to play. What is it?
Well, one of them is Phasmophobia,
Oh, I've seen that one, yeah.
and there's another one.
Let's see. We'll bring that up on
Uh,
the stream.
I posted a link in the Discord.
I've got Phasmophobia up already anyway. We'll take a look at that now. Let everybody see it
Anyway.
that doesn't know it exists. So is that the multiplayer one you were talking about? Where
Actually, both of the ones I'm going to link are multiplayer.
This one looks like it's
4-person.
ghosts. Stinky ghosts.
God,
We'll
I
look
hope
at
this is
the
real.
Discord. Is in the discussion you're putting or suggestions?
Suggestions.
Alrighty. Unraveled. Is Unraveled a horror game? I don't think that counts. I definitely don't think it counts as a horror game. Unraveled. Why is that not playing? Is it because I'm out of the screen? Ah, that'll be why. Borderlands, any Far Cry, any Pummel Party. Pummel Party?
Is that a thing?
I mean, it just sounds like pardon me, Little Nightmares 1 and 2. That is actually a good shout. Anon. Little Nightmares is genuinely creepy. Like, it's a game I've wanted to play, but I've just not got round to. I mean, if you guys have never played Little Nightmares, it's so creepy. FNAF I've been tempted to get myself. And I have seen Poppy Playtime. So that is also another option. But again, if you guys want me to play something specific, go leave your suggestions on Discord, because the more people that suggest a specific thing, the more likely I am to actually play that specific thing. Because obviously if 10 of you are saying, play this, then I'm more likely to play that than I am something that one person wants me to play for Halloween. I don't like the type of game Little Nightmares is. Do you mean like a puzzle game? Because it is a kind of puzzly type game. Ooh. Dog's did something weird. Any Steam Deck players here? Have one coming this week. looking forward to it. Lewis, Catherine has one, but so does Dio. They're the only two people I know that definitely have one. And from what I hear from both of them, they're enjoying it. It's definitely a cool little thing. Let's see. Have you popped that other game up yet, Bubba?
Yes. It's in the
Oh, Devour
suggestions
I've seen as
channel.
well. I think someone else showed me Devour a while back.
Where the
Let's see.
fuck am I going?
The hell in a handbasket?
Probably.
Seymour's driving.
I'm what?
Mm.
I'm driving.
No idea.
Tachanka, I would love to have a Stream Deck as well, but they are not cheap. And rightly slow.
Yeah, it's supposed to be good. I don't think I'm ready to get my laptop for a console though.
I think it just depends on what games you want to play as well, because there's obviously not support for all of them.
I've got a decent laptop. I don't need to trade it for a console. Ah, there's the button.
Because the thing,
I'm stuck in the hotel room. I don't need a overgrown PSP.
aye, but the thing is, what I would do with it is I would probably put games on it, and then while I'm sitting on the couch with a wife, play the games.
That'll go down well.
Oh, I used to do that with a Switch all the time. It'll go down fine as long as I'm there. I'm honestly not sure what the static is, Tachanka. I'll look at my settings in a little second.
Well, it's not in the Discord. Must be just something in YouTube.
But the thing is, it could just be YouTube as being shit, yeah.
I guess.
Because the only sound you guys will be hearing is, well, from my voice or voices in general.
And that's annoying enough.
I don't like how that demon was running. It was running like, I don't know, like it was swiggity swooty after your booty.
Yeah.
It was just, what? Why was it running like that? Fucking demons.
You want anything? You want anything?
Oh, that's the wrong thing that's on. We'll move that back to Discord. Oh, I'm on the wrong Discord page, that's what that is. Oop, there we go. But yeah, no, there's so many things that we could play, so many different things we could get. So, I mean, the balls in everybody's court when it comes to that, because if you guys have specific things that you would love me to play, then you need to voice it. Because, but I will be playing Cyberpunk for definite. I'll probably do. I don't know whether I'm going to do a playthrough entirely on stream. I might start on stream and then just upload videos of me playing through it, because it would take me forever to finish the game otherwise, if I'm only doing it like once or twice a week. I am also going to be doing stuff on Twitch. So it depends on how I decide to go about that. I'll probably do like random streams on Twitch throughout the week, or when I get some time to do it, which is difficult because obviously kids being kids. Alice the Madness Returns. I do like American McGee's Alice. I do really like that. I haven't played the original game, mainly because I just didn't know where to bloody get it when it originally came out. But I do like the look of it, and it does look absolutely stunning. So that's definitely another option as well. I do need to work through my backlog of games as well, which I probably will do with certain things. I'll probably make videos or just playthroughs of games, which is the easiest thing to do, is just upload my commentary of me going, I've just been attacked by a giant cockroach. Fucking flies. There's like a fly buzzing about a room that keeps trying to eat my face. But yeah, there's unlimited opportunities. We'll see what happens with it.
And a Cazador.
Yes, it's definitely a Cazador that lives in this room.
If you're a Cazador, you'd be dead. So.
No, I think I could deal with Cazador.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and I think I could deal with nuclear powered Jeff Goldblum, the Brundlefly. They really missed a thing in Fallout, not having a Brundlefly. Big old Jeff Goldblum, life finding his way right up into your booty. But yeah, no, is there any like game news that you guys have seen recently? Oh, that we're going to talk about that Witcher thing, weren't we? Did you post a link for it, Tim?
No, not yet. Sorry,
No, don't worry about it.
I got distracted.
Was it by The Purge? No, Devour, not The
Nope.
Purge.
I'm trying to find somebody.
No, another settlement needed his help.
Ah,
You know what? I've been playing this for 3 weeks. I haven't even talked to Preston. I haven't even found him.
you just
Well, I know he
kick
is, but I haven't
Preston
found him.
right in the ghoulies. I think that should be a mod where you can just kick Preston repeatedly in the balls,
My
and
main
that's the
settlement
game.
Isn't even Sanctuary. It's the Red Rocket down the road.
Legendary bloatfly, no, legendary brundlefly. What's
Some-
my thoughts on the pit, Lewis? I've pretty much quit Fallout 76, and the pit is one of the reasons why. It's just not enough. And I say I've quit. I've not like quit. I'm not like writing it off for the future, but I am not intending to do Fallout 76 content for the next while. Don't get me wrong. I have videos scheduled, so there will be Fallout 76 videos popping up in the next couple of weeks. But after that, I'm not making anything new for it. I'm gonna dedicate my time to actually enjoying my life and making videos on things that I actually want to play. The pit is just not enough to hold my attention, and until they do something else, I'm just not
What?
going back.
Oh, wow. The Witcher Blood Origin has nothing to do with Witchers at all, as far as I can see.
There's nothing to do with The Witcher.
It's got Michelle Yeoh,
Uh-huh.
who's right, you know who she is. It's got Lenny Henry, who the others won't know who that is.
Lenny Henry.
What?
Yeah. Let me find her.
Fucking Lenny Henry.
Well, to be fair, he's in the Lord of the Rings prequel.
That's not a thing to be proud of.
It's actually not bad. He sounds weird with an Irish accent, but yeah, he's in the Lord of the Rings prequel.
Yeah,
I
well,
watched
just
episode
because his
4.
character isn't bad doesn't mean the whole thing isn't bad.
All right. Let me find an actual link. Oh, it's a wiki. Holy crap!
If you're into Doom style games, then Prodeus seems to be generating a bit of buzz. It's
I shall
in
put this into
Game
TV
Preview
shows,
and
anime,
Game
etc.
Pass.
You can have a read.
Cool, if you pop it up, I'll get to it in a wee second.
It's
I'm
an
just checking
upcoming
it.
fantasy miniseries created by Declan DeBarra and Lauren Schmidt, adapted from the Witcher book series. It will serve as a prequel to the Netflix TV series.
Okay.
Huh?
Oh, sorry, I'm looking. I listened and okay to that as well. But this Proteus game looks like it's done in a weird way. It kind of looks like retro, but also looks modern. It's really strange. Right, let's have a look at this Witcher link. Where did you put it? TV shows?
In TV shows, animes. It's just a wiki.
No, it's fine. Whatever it is, we'll bring it up. Have a look at it. I think it's early days, though, I think, with this kind of thing, so...
Probably.
Serve as a prequel to the television series. So it's basically not going to have anything to do with Geralt, then?
No.
I mean, that's fine.
Thousands of years before Geralt.
The thing about the idea behind that is the Witcher games and the Witcher stuff can expand so much out from just Geralt of Rivia, and that's the kind of thoughts on the game that they're working on, the new Witcher game, is that there's a good potential for it being you make your own Witcher and you do your own thing, which is a great idea. It's an absolute great idea because you can be a Witcher, you just won't be the Witcher.
See, Geralt's a Witcher, but Witchers aren't Geralt.
Oh, exactly. There's like so many different Witchers in the games and in the books and now in the series. It's a shame that you don't follow any other ones. There's so much other stories out there to be told. There's a massive, rich world to explore, and it's insane that nobody's done anything about the, characters unrelated to Geralt.
Yeah. And
So
you can be
no,
a Witcher unless you take your helmet off in front of the kid that you saved.
yes,
Oh wait, wrong show. Never mind.
yes, yes. But yeah, if it's Netflix, and if it's Netflix that's doing it, and it does say it's Netflix, and they are, well, I'm going to assume they're going to be speaking to Sapowski about it as well. They've done the Witcher series justice so far, so I don't think it's going to be bad at all. And it's not to say that you can't have characters from the lore and canon in it, because there's a lot of characters out there that are immortal as well. So there is
vampires.
Well, yeah, the vampires could show up. I'm trying to think. One of the sorcerers could probably show up because you don't know how old some of them are. So there is characters that could exist. Well, not Voldemort.
Okay, sorry.
Well, maybe Voldemort. Actually, fuck it, Voldemort. So the series, it's going to be Christmas that it premieres that on then. That is going to be a good Christmas.
Yeah.
That's going to be a very fun Christmas.
Yeah,
I mean, I love the Witcher.
And you'll have the new Witcher.
The new Witch. No, I'm really looking forward to that. That should be Lenny Henry and Joe Pasquale. I hope you're kidding with the Joe Pasquale one. That would be a terrifying fucking episode of The Witcher. It would be a genuinely terrifying and harrowing Witcher series with Joe Pasquale in it. And I mean, anybody outside the UK won't understand the horror that represents, but trust me, you don't want that.
The Americans have a Joe Pasquale. My cousin Vinny.
What, Pesci?
Thank you.
I don't find him as annoying as Joe Pasquale. I just don't. I don't think his voice is annoying.
Mm-hmm.
We already tried Back for Blood, Bubba. It was kind of shit. It didn't. Well, I mean, we could play Left 4 Dead. I mean, that still exists as a game and still can be played. And as far as I'm aware, people still play it. I think there's a lot of options, a lot of different games we could play, and a lot of different things we could go for. But what my intention is, I don't know what I'm going to do with when I'm going to start Cyberpunk. I'm either going to start it on the Wednesday, because I'm off Wednesday, because my kids are at school and nursery. So I'll probably start Cyberpunk on either Wednesday or the Thursday. But it really depends. If I start on the Wednesday, the Cyberpunk playthrough will be on Twitch, but I will transfer it over to YouTube for people to watch. So it kind of adds an extra layer of, can I be fucked doing that? And then starting it from YouTube is after that point. We'll definitely see. It's a discussion I have to have with myself and figure it out. Pesci was in Goodfellas, so he gets leeway. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. He was also in the Lethal Weapon movies as well.
And Home Alone.
And Home Alone. He was very good in Home Alone. What time Wednesday to chunk it? It's probably going to be from like 10, maybe 9 o'clock in the morning. Because that's when my kids go respectively away. But it depends. It's probably going to be 10 o'clock all the way up to around about 2:30 in the afternoon. Because that's when, again, the eldest comes home.
Random.
You wish your Twitch account wasn't banned. I mean, I think we all wish our accounts that are banned weren't banned. Bon. Unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Can you not make another Twitch account? What do you mean, you monster? I'm not going to be streaming in the evening when my kids are away. Alrighty, Bucket, thanks for popping in, man. Really happy you're going to play different games instead of Fallout 76, because I feel the same way. But the stupid thing is, Bucket, you were doing it for how long? Think of how long I was doing it, and it fucking, it's awful. But yeah, enjoy the rest of, enjoy your sleep, I would assume, Bucket. And I think I've pretty much covered everything I wanted to talk about tonight. Wasn't really much else to say. It was mainly that's kind of the reason why I didn't do the talk streams the previous 2 weeks, because there wasn't a huge amount to go into. Not a lot. There's always news, but there's a lot of waffling and kind of things you don't want to talk about going on. But that's pretty much that. So guys, if you have enjoyed tonight's stream, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. As I said, we do have a Conan Exiles video going live tomorrow night at our usual time, as well as I'll be streaming on the Wednesday for definite. Whether I'm streaming Cyberpunk or not, I really don't know. I'm in two minds of it. It really depends on how I feel. And then we have our Thursday stream that I will continue doing. So we still will be doing our Thursday stream as well. But again, that's either going to be Cyberpunk or something else. It really just depends on what we kind of figure out. If I can get people to play games with me, like Borderlands or Among Us or something else, there's a chance that I'll do that as well. It really just depends. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And if you'd like to support the channel, all the links down below. Yada yada. We'll catch you next time. I need this.
Not in the wasteland.